I'm Melissa.
And I'm Jessie.
And welcome to our show.
A Nameless production.
Big fairy queens, cooler than you are me. Your ear seductions is the Nameless Productions. For your ear seductions is the Nameless Productions. For your ear seductions is the Nameless Productions.
And today we are here.
Yes, we are.
We're here. We are here just chilling. We've been at the studio all day long. I think Jessie and I probably had 8 business meetings today.
We both just sat there for probably 4 hours straight with our laptops.
Yeah, and just went over things and
papers and the iPad and also our phones all at the same time.
Yes. We got a lot of stuff accomplished today. We have a lot of things in the making. We have 2023 coming up, and so we want to make sure that we have all the things that we've been working on ready because we are on fire and we have so many amazing things that we have that literally you guys are going to be like, no. Oh, this is what you guys have been doing.
Yes, so we had this, I shared a meme about, oh, you mean people just start a task and finish it instead of doing 14 things at once like a squirrel on cocaine?
Yeah.
I guess that was our business model, was a squirrel going crazy.
Do 14 things at the same time and don't get anything
all the way.
All the way.
And so now we are at the end of all of those things.
Yeah.
And we get to start laying them down and setting off those bombs, and it's going to be one after another, so we hope you guys are ready.
Yeah, because as you guys know, we've been working really hard. You guys only see what we're doing here when you see our episodes, or if you see us on Facebook, you see that we're, running all kinds of different projects and stuff. We also been here all day working, and our brains are not working very well, and we smoked a lot of weed.
Yeah, well, we did all of those things.
Yeah.
Because we've been here for so long, and it's one of those days where you're like, dang, I need a vacation. And so, but we already did a vacation. And in our last episode, we went camping.
Yeah.
Fake camping.
Fake camping.
Because we did the Blair Bitch project. It was funny.
And it was funny, right? You guys, it was funny, right?
I'm letting you know.
You guys, it was funny.
I'm telling you.
Oh, so it was funny.
It was funny?
Okay.
And we were supposed to laugh. So this weekend, I came to the studio to work. And if you follow our show, you know I'm kind of a weekend wanderer where I bounce around on the weekends so that my kids can have time with their dad. And
at the house.
Split the house. And so I worked all day and I'm like, dang, I don't want to go back and just be all up in their beeswax. So I hit up Melissa, can I stay in your extra room? And she said, yes, you can. But the extra room is we are going camping. And we went camping.
Yeah. So I got home. We haven't went camping in over a year. I think it's been a year and a half. We have all the things. We have an RV. We have, whatever that thing's called, a trailer. We have a Can-Am. We have all the fun things. It's just they've been sitting just parked.
First 25 episodes,
yeah.
It was like, oh, sorry we didn't put an episode out for so long. Melissa was camping.
Yeah.
Melissa was at the river.
Yeah.
Melissa was on vacation. Melissa was in Arizona.
Jesse's like, God, how many vacations do you take? Blah, blah, blah.
And then all of a sudden, it just stopped.
Yeah. He came and he picked everything up and he brought it all home, and I come home and he's sitting out there and he's so happy. He worked so hard all day long by himself, washing the whole trailer and getting up on the top and scrubbing it because it's been sitting for a year and a half.
Him talking about it was fucking funny, dude. I went like this, and then I went, and I just looked down the rest of the trailer fuck.
Yeah,
because it's a big trailer.
Yeah, I think it's 36 feet or something. So it's a big fucking thing.
He worked all day.
So I come home and he's, dirty and sweaty and, he worked hard, but he's got a smile on his face and he's happy that it looks so beautiful. And I'm like, so what are you going to do? Just go sit on the couch now? And he's like, well, I'm done. And I was like, well, then let's go camping. And he's like, And I said, dude, I know there's a campsite very, very close to here, and we should call them and see if they have a spot. So we called them. They had a spot, and literally the campsite was like 2 miles from my house. Everybody was super like, what, Melissa? Okay.
Yeah, it was literally 7 p.m. I'm like, it's nighttime. But it's after dinner time, like, we're going camping.
I'm like, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna sit on the couch. It's a Saturday night. Like, fucking, the whole thing's beautiful and clean. Let's go make that bitch dirty. Welcome to my other home.
I've never fucking seen this before.
Where I, like, impromptu was like, we're going camping. So, get over here.
Ta-da!
My palm trees.
I noticed. I was like, wow.
Oh, you've seen them before.
There's plants. I know that there's, you're missing a grass rug.
We're missing a grass rug. Yeah, we are. Shh, don't tell him.
He's like, you fuckers.
This is really cool.
The fuck is it? Oh, ooh la la! Dang!
Ta-da!
Be jelly.
Okay. And then that one is.
So she wants me to fondle her sacks.
Yes. I'm fondling my sack. Apparently you're kidding.
I was, yes.
When you have the opportunity to do something and you can do it, you should do it because it makes such a great memory. We had such a good time just hanging out. It was one night. We had to pack it up again, but it was one night that we went out. Everybody had a great time. I used to be spontaneous back in my drinking days, and I was telling Jessie about this, how my Melissa versus Missy spontaneousness is completely different because back in the day when I would drink and I would have an idea like this, everybody would be there. Literally, Demir would come home from work on a Friday all tired and I'm like, oh, guess what? We're gonna go camping and fucking so-and-so's coming, this person's coming. And like, I invited this other person who we haven't seen in like 6 years. They're gonna come. And it's like, I had to always have like a big fucking production. A huge one. Like every weekend I was doing something huge production and he's like, what the fuck? Slow down. So this time it was nice because it wasn't a huge production. I told Jessie, hey, invite a few people. So remember I wrote that, that was my old habits right there.
I invited a couple people and then I was like,
it was
I'll
so
wait
last minute.
like an hour and then I unsent it. I was like, there's like a window for this message to make sense, and if they don't see it in this window, I'm just gonna avoid it.
Yeah.
I like the unsend. People hate it.
Oh yeah.
I fucking laugh.
You don't even know what I said.
If they ask me, what'd you say? I'll tell them. It's not a secret. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
That's what it is to me.
Yeah, I do like that option.
People hate it. Okay, so she was talking about Missy versus Melissa. We have a Patreon, and sometimes we go a couple weeks without putting anything on there, and then all of a sudden we're like, nah, we gotta give our Patreon love. We recorded a really long one. Melissa always is saying how recording and doing everything that we do is like therapy. It's like therapy, and whenever we talk to people, they're like, dang, thank you for saying that. Like, that felt like therapy, and she's like, I know, right?
Yeah.
I say that all the time. It literally was, and she had this whole like mind-blowing realization on camera about a childhood trauma, literally unboxed right there and went,
yeah.
whoa. And afterwards when we turned it off, she's like, dang, I'm tired now.
And then, like, I think I even said that on the video that I was tired. The whole week I was like learning from that one realization because, a lot of you guys know that I have an addiction and I quit drinking alcohol 2.5 years ago. And so I had to like start fresh and start over and figure out all the things that like made me happy and how I could still enjoy life, because I partied a lot. I was
talked
talking
about
to Jessie
this in a lot of our earlier episodes, because we were both kind of fresh in the we don't drink anymore deal.
Well, Jessie had to do it too.
Yes, I also did that. Yes.
Yeah, so you had to start fresh also.
Yes. I don't talk about it the same, but we did it at the same time. We've talked about it, how she had to like relearn how to go to concerts. And that's one of the things where we do Dirty Sisters meetups, and we have the Buzz Club, which, you know, we're going to have a new twist on soon. Going back to your happy things as a new you.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And so she came to this like realization, a childhood trauma realization, and then she went back and started reevaluating all of the fucking things. And started like...
Well, so what
I came down to camping.
Yeah, and so, well, that, and I needed to hug a tree. We needed a fire. Sometimes your childhood trauma you have to work through, but Jessie also, when I was explaining these things to her, she's like, you have to work through your childhood joys as well, so that you can go back and figure out what it is that you really enjoyed doing before the trauma, before the drugs, before the alcohol. Because throughout those years, as you grew up, you had good joys from your childhood too. Like me, I loved to put on shows and stuff, and like do like talent shows with the kids in the apartment complexes, and put on like we do right now, you know, the things that we do now. I loved to do that, and Jessie and I were talking about that. Jessie did the same thing, you know, she loved to do that shit, singing and making up like skits and different things.
So like, one thing about drugs and alcohol using is that people self-medicate to deal with what they're going through now, current traumas, but they also do it to mask childhood traumas.
Yeah.
Shit that you want to bury.
Yeah.
They use that to bury. Or they use it to let loose. When you let loose, you finally are free to do the things that you want to do.
And that's
and
funny.
That you enjoy.
And it's funny because a lot of times you act a fool and you dress up and you act weird and you do the things that, let's say, Jessie and I do. You wear funny hats or put on everybody's hat or do something randomly stupid at the bar. And I'm not saying everybody, but it's like you do these things, and when you are drinking, you are able to go back to that fun kid type behavior.
Yes, you have to go back and revisit childhood trauma. Yes, you have to go back and say, okay, when did I have to grow up? Or when did I start going, I need to escape from this?
Yeah.
You need to go back to that. You have to revisit the trauma. You have to work through the trauma. But you also have to revisit the joy.
Yeah.
You have to go back and revisit both. What used to make me happy? Does it make me happy now? Do I want to let loose in that way?
Yeah.
Is that still my hobby? These kind of things, like music and concerts. This thing where you have to go back and remember how to have fun.
Yeah. And how to have fun in the way that you're not afraid of what people think.
Yeah.
Because then you are truly able.
Even care.
Yeah, and then you're truly able just to have a good time and let loose. When you're a kid, you're able to have an imagination. You're able to dress up, and people don't look at you as weird and stuff like that. So as you're growing up, you get to a certain age where you don't do those things anymore. And a lot of people don't do those things anymore because it's frowned upon by that age group.
She used Barbies, for example. There's an age where you're supposed to outgrow playing with Barbies and dolls.
Yeah.
Like the transition from toddler to kid, from kid to teen, from teen to adult. All of these are really weird transitions where like you have to become a whole new version, and all of the things that you liked before are no longer in your age bracket.
Yeah.
Like you can't take Elmo with you all the way to fucking whatever. That's weird as fuck. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck Elmo anyways, but that's not
But yeah,
the point.
it's weird as fuck. It's like you are constantly changing versions of yourself.
Yeah.
So,
but there are certain things ingrained in you that will make you happy.
Yes.
And a lot of those things you lose as you are forced into new levels. So like, There's this.
I'll go play some fucking Barbies right now, man, and I'll feel great.
Well, we had that episode with fucking Brett Wilson,
yeah,
Roots of Creation, where he was like, "Dang, this is fun to dress up as a kid and have a fucking sippy cup and throw a fit.
Just be.
I needed to do this.
Yeah,
you know, it does feel nice.
Yeah,
it's a different kind of let loose,
and it's the same kind of let loose, like feeling." Except for you don't wake up with the hangover and you don't have like some weird addiction. I don't know, man. As you change and you grow into another person and you have to figure out what you like, it's nice to go back to that version of you.
And so we know that not most of you are on our Patreon, and we're going to leave all of that deep stuff there. But one takeaway is, don't call her Missy.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not Missy.
We did say that, yeah.
There are some people who can, you know. Literally, Jameer called me Jesus for a whole day, so.
He's totally calling her Jesus the whole time. I was like, what?
I didn't understand the segue, but I still answered to it. I was like, what's up? I know that's me.
I believe you remind him of a childhood friend.
Oh, okay. Yes, okay. I remember now. Okay.
Yes.
So we went camping for one night.
Then the next day we had an interview.
We had to be back at the house, packed up and clean, because we had an interview.
I literally just threw my hair down and like with a curling iron and then makeup. So I felt really cool. Like I just had went camping and then I came back and I like had to just immediately get work, like ready for work.
And we did. And so the reason we're talking about addiction is because we interviewed Kellie Nowell from Bradley's house. It's the Nowell Family Foundation opening Bradley's house.
Yes. Yeah, and Kellie sat down and talked to us and just told us a little bit about what was going on with that foundation and what they're trying to accomplish and why they're trying to accomplish it. There are a lot of artists, musical artists struggling out there with addiction.
So they are hoping to create a healthy connection between sobriety and music. And they'll be opening up a 6-bed house called Bradley's House in the name of Bradley Nowell from Sublime. Here is that interview.
Here you go.
Hi there. How's it going?
How are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Welcome to a Nameless production. We're usually
Thank
not
you.
this, well, I usually am like this, but.
All good.
So how's your Sunday going?
Fabulous. I actually was getting some work done, so I'm feeling super productive.
That's cool. We wanted to have you on here because, you know, we've seen a lot about what you guys are doing and everything for the foundation and stuff. And so we just wanted to maybe pick your brain, get more information, get you guys, get the people we know to know who you guys are. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. So we started the Nowell Family Foundation about 5 years ago, my family and I. And that was when my nephew, Jacob, Brad's son, was in recovery. And we started to just realize the specific needs of musicians going through recovery, you know, both involving music in their process, but also carrying it beyond that and being able to maintain sobriety while they're on the road and, you know, that kind of thing. And so that just sort of got us talking. And it had been over 20 years since we'd lost my brother. And it just seemed like, you know, maybe we should try to pull something together that would allow us to use some of the contacts that we have and maybe try to do some good and help people avoid the same type of fate that Brad did. So that's kind of how it started. And we didn't really know what we were going to do or how we were going to do it, but we just figured, you know what, let's just start and try to make something happen. It's better than doing nothing and wishing we would. So that was really how we got started.
Okay. Now for those of our listeners who don't know who Brad is, who is Brad?
Brad is Bradley Nowell, the lead singer of Sublime. He died of a heroin overdose 26 years ago, and he was my brother, 2.5 years older.
You watched his addiction, you watched him lose his addiction, then you watched his son go down the same road. Did you go through any type of addiction yourself, or was this something you just saw from the outside?
From the outside. I was a very heavy drinker when I was younger, but because Brad being older, he was sort of my cautionary tale, so when I saw him doing all the things he was doing, it made me want to avoid any kind of hard drugs. And so, fortunately I was able to avoid all of that. And somehow I was able to avoid the addiction gene, if there is such a thing. I know a lot of people believe that it is genetic. I happen to have seen evidence of that, so I do believe there's a very good chance that it is genetic. It definitely runs in my family.
Yeah.
And so just watching it, of course, when I was younger, I was 25 when Brad died, and I didn't know anything about addiction. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand why he would choose to shoot up when things were finally going so well, why he would choose to do that drug when he had a new wife and a new baby. And, it wasn't until much later that I realized that at that point it was not a choice for him.
And so you have dedicated, I mean, it seems like you've dedicated your life to this foundation, right?
It just sure feels like it. I
Yeah.
work full time in addition to this. So most of my free time is spent trying to build the foundation. So evenings and weekends, and, we try to go to as many music festivals as we can. I've got a phenomenal team now that is making this happen with me, which I feel so fortunate, because I really was eating, breathing, and sleeping the foundation for a long time, in addition to my work and being a single mom. And it was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I always laugh and say
We're doing Dirty Sisters and Nameless,
uh,
and I'm a single mom now, and so I relate to that one where you're like, okay,
yeah,
people get on board.
right.
So we've seen you guys at multiple music festivals. We've seen you guys at Sea Legs for
Yeah, we've had
benefit
some
concerts.
benefit shows. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We've been to a lot of those. We saw you guys at Cali Vibes. What is something that fans and people at the music festivals can do to support you guys?
Really just what we're doing right now, getting the word out. We're fortunately in a position to hopefully start getting a place open. I've kind of been hinting at it over the past 6 months, and
Yes.
we have some really exciting things coming. So I just want to make sure we've got all our ducks in a row before we announce. But really at this point, it's always going to be, we're always going to need to be raising funds. It's always going to be a struggle as a nonprofit, because we want to offer the services free of charge and make sure, whether someone has insurance or not, regardless, we don't want to turn away any musicians that are struggling with an opioid addiction. And so we're always going to be in the fundraising process, which is a challenge. But there are a lot of people that have been touched by this opioid epidemic and do have the funds to be able to help out. And it's just a matter of finding those people. And so that's why it really does make a difference to help get the word out, because you just never know. We never know who's going to be listening to this podcast.
Well, it's also something that's close to home for my family. I lost a cousin to heroin addiction.
I'm so sorry.
In San Diego. His name was Evan Quick, and actually my Aunt Shelley was fighting to push Laura's Law, where it would help people struggling with addiction get mental help, like assistance without the insurance, or if they just were denied.
Such
a little bit the same, where getting the people the help that they need so that they don't have to rely on a different path.
Exactly. And, mental health issues play so much a part of addiction. I don't know that it's really possible to have one without the other. And quite honestly, I think everybody has some mental health issues.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah. My therapist jokes that instead of having a college fund for our kids, we should have therapy funds.
And yes, because therapy is definitely expensive.
Yes. And we could all use some help, straightening out our heads every now and then. It just finding coping mechanisms and all of that, I think, comes into play with addiction when people are trying to self-medicate. So, they really go hand in hand.
I have a long history of addictive personalities and addiction myself. When I was very young, in my early teens, I started using methamphetamines, and I started using those for a good, 5 years, 6 years of my life. And that was my whole adolescence. And it caught me. And so I was very young. I went through a lot of life a lot of things that young 20-year-olds don't go through. I, ended up going to prison. I ended up going and doing just really, and when I came back out, I'm like, I never want to be in that situation in my life again.
Yeah, it's
And so
powerful.
luckily I was able to get out of the circle of it, because sometimes when you're that young and you find yourself in that position, it's hard to figure out a different life. And
Right.
so with that, it's been 22 years,
Oh, good for
um,
you.
but unfortunately later on down my life, I did find myself having an alcohol issue,
Mm,
and it all kind of caught up with me, the whole, well, that's not who I am, this is who I
right.
am. I'm gonna be this best version of myself, and then that best version of myself got very hard and the alcohol got easy. And
Mm,
so it took me a while, and so now I quit drinking about 2.5 years ago. And
wow.
I met
So
Jessie.
one thing that you mentioned, Kelly, was coping mechanisms.
Hmm.
And I appreciate how you guys are using music as a new focus. Melissa and
Mm,
I used art as our
Yeah.
focus.
wonderful.
So we
Yeah.
started doing installation. I respect how Bradley's house is going to use music as that. Use this as it, for the lack of a better term, use this as your new addiction. Music is your new
Right.
addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think any program that doesn't recognize the importance of art, music, literature, those types of things in certain people's lives, and doesn't understand the power that that can have, is
Yeah.
really, it's handicapping people, so I know there are a lot of great organizations out there. One of our board members is the founder of Rock to Recovery. They do some great work incorporating music into different programs. And there's just, Recovery Unplugged is all over the country. There's just so many great programs out there, but there's just not enough.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, there are some unique things that people that are creative go through in recovery, things that can help them be more successful,
Yeah.
things that, if you put the focus on the right place, it's just one more arrow in the quiver. Nothing's guaranteed, but
Yeah.
anything that we can do to help make that process more successful just one more time is worth it.
Right. And like with us, we have Dirty Sisters organization. We started it, and that's kind of like when I used to get off work, I used to think, oh, I need to get home and get a drink,
Mm.
And now I get off work and I'm like, oh crap, I've got like 30 things on my list. I got to get this and this and this done. I've got like 7 girls I have to call and like help comfort. And it's that's my new thing. They
Yeah,
do say you have to replace it with something
absolutely.
else.
Right.
It's definitely something that has to be replaced. If you don't replace it, then there's going to be an emptiness there, and then that's going to be the void, and people are going to be like, oh, I need that drug or I need that alcohol, because there's a void still. So
Right. Recovery doesn't happen in a vacuum.
it doesn't, and it does not happen overnight either.
Mm, that's
I'm
for
still
sure.
learning so many things about myself 2.5 years later. Jessie and I do this podcast, and half of the time I'm literally going through a therapy session while we're doing it, because I'm like, oh my God, I just realized something about myself.
Like, dang, I just unboxed some childhood trauma.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
that's why I act like that.
On screen.
And then you guys
Like,
get like a whole like vision of my whole face and reaction. It's like,
let's take some time to unpack that, right?
yeah. So
Yeah, it's very good. But we should all really be growing our whole lives. And that's one of the things that I admire so much about 12-step programs and recovery programs, is that they really put you on a path towards self-development, towards self-improvement, analyzing yourself, why you do the things you do, your relationships with others. And a lot of times, because of that growth and that work that people are doing, it puts them so much farther ahead of their peers
yeah,
that aren't in a program, whether they're struggling with addiction or not.
Yeah.
So I do think it's a wonderful thing for anybody, those 12 steps. But
yeah. And then
those types.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just say those types of programs, I think, are often underrated as far as the benefits that they have to everybody.
Yeah. And that hits home to me too, because when I first stopped, I went to rehab, but I did 90 meetings in 90 days.
Wow, good for
After
you.
the 90 meetings in 90 days, though, I was like, listen, the meetings and the 12 steps, it's not for me. Like, I have to find something else that is like gonna fulfill
Sure.
me, because for me, I felt like, I don't know, when I went, I felt like I was like reliving a part of me that I was like not really proud of.
Uh-huh.
So, I didn't want to live like I was an alcoholic forever. I just wanted
Yeah.
to stop drinking. And
I,
so far I've
yeah.
been okay.
Good, good. Recovery, in my opinion, is all about finding what works for you. I don't think there's a one size fits all. And so, I think that's probably why sometimes it'll take multiple times because, it's got to be the right timing. It's got to be the right program. It's got to be the right path.
Yeah.
And I think that's different for everybody. And I always stress that to me, what's important is not that people recover a certain way. It's just that they recover, that you
Yes.
get the life that you want to live. What is it you would rather be doing than struggling with this addiction than, or having it destroy your life? Let's focus on that. And whatever helps you get there, that's what matters.
What does the Knoll Foundation do? What does it entail? What do you guys
So
help people do?
our mission is to help people in the music industry that are struggling with addiction. So our main focus right now is getting Bradley's House open, which will provide treatment to people in the music industry free of charge. So everything that we've been focusing on since we opened has been to raise money to make this happen. But along the way, we've been really fortunate that we've been able to, of course, connect with a lot of people at events. We have a lot of people that come hang out at the booth during events because they know it's a safe place. We've had people come who were tripping super hard at a festival and just sat at our booth for hours and hung out with us because they knew they would be okay.
Yeah.
And we've helped people get medical help at festivals. We have help people get referrals who reach out to us for help. We have a wonderful person on our board, Tyson Sullivan, who works in the recovery industry, and he's got a lot of contacts and knows a lot of resources. And so he's graciously helped out with, providing people recommendations and even getting people scholarships into places, and whether, regardless of where they are in the country. So I'm really excited that we've been able to do that before we've even got the house open.
Right. So you guys are going to be an actual facility.
Yes. Yeah. So the goal is to open an actual residential facility that will give the guys a place to stay at while we help them, and get them into a clinical program and teach life skills and, focus on how they can maintain sobriety in the music industry once they leave Bradley's house. That's the goal.
And then recording music will be part of the program while they're there.
We'll have a music room. I think it would be wonderful to have a studio at some point. I don't know financially. I mean, that's not a priority right off the bat.
Yeah.
But the goal, is just to provide an environment where they can recover and still incorporate music, still embrace music, so that doesn't become a negative for them. So many people, because the music becomes a part of their addiction, then when they get clean, they don't know how to go back into that. And something that was their passion, their reason for living, now becomes something that they feel like they're at odds with.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to unite that into their life as a sober musician, I think will be really powerful.
We went through this as fans of like the music industry.
Uh-huh.
Both of us are over 2 years, we quit drinking. Going back
Awesome.
to a concert after you quit drinking is one of those, you go back into your usual happy place.
And then it's not that happy place anymore because you have to figure out your new happy. And people are in your face and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, all right, I'm going to do this.
Surrounded by the words and the sounds that you love without, like you said, without it turning into a negative.
Exactly.
I like that support.
Yeah. And that's really what it is. I mean, it's not about creating anything magical. It's just about finding the things that matter to you and fanning the flame of that passion in a healthy way.
So you said, guys, is this just for the guys right now, or
the first facility will be there?
Okay.
Yeah. The outcomes with gender specific recovery are so much greater. And, it gives everybody a chance to heal in a safe, healthy environment without having to worry about, male, female issues and relationships and that kind of thing. So this first house will be men only. And then my goal is to make the next house women only, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Got it. So how far away from opening are you guys? What needs to be done? how can people help you guys get it done quicker?
That's a great question. So we have, like I said, mostly been focusing on raising money, and that will always be an issue. We have almost $300,000 right now, which really puts us in a position to be able to get open in a modified way. So what we're looking at doing right now is opening the residential house and then finding a clinical partner where we can take the guys for their, therapy and group meetings and all that kind of stuff. Our initial goal was to raise $750,000, do it all in-house. And it just seemed like that was taking so long, to be honest. And so I started talking with different people who've done it and getting some ideas and realizing that we don't have to start with the full shebang. We can step up. And so right now we are in talks with some different consultants about them helping us to get started in that direction. So honestly, my goal is to have the house open within the next 6 to 12 months.
Okay, perfect.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. And so do you guys have a location secured already, or are you guys still trying to find the location as well?
Not looking at a location right now because I want to find that clinical partner first.
Okay.
I want to find somebody, and we found a great organization out on the East Coast in the Baltimore area called Glass House Recovery. They do great work. Their curriculum is geared towards creatives. They're an outpatient facility, and we were super excited to partner with them, but just the challenges of trying to make that happen across the country as our first facility was just becoming a little challenging. So we're looking a little closer to home, and just once we can find that clinical partner, then we can find a place near them. And I'm just going to allow that to kind of drive it, because to me, that's the most important component, is that, finding the right partner that understands what we're trying to do, that understands the specific needs of creative people in the music industry, and finding a way that we can, become a part of that. And then that will dictate where we put the facility.
Got it. So you said closer to home. Where are you located, in case people don't know? Because we have people all over the United States listening to us.
We're in Southern California. So my dad is still in Long Beach. I'm now down in Orange County. So our thoughts originally were to open a place in South Orange County. We had a medical director down here that was going to help us out, so we wanted to be close to him. But he's since retired. So now that we finally have the money, he's retired. So that actually opens things up, gives us more options. And I'm just trying to keep my eyes and ears open, like I said, for the right clinical partner, because I do believe once we have that component, everything else will be really easy to make happen.
Okay. What if the right clinical partner is listening right now? Like, what are you looking for that? Just in case, because you never know, there might be somebody interested in doing that for you guys.
Excellent point, Melissa. To me, the right clinical partner will have a curriculum for, their group meetings and such that is a bit out of the box. I really think, there's a lot of great recovery programs, and I definitely am not condemning any of those. They're so successful, but I really think that what I would like to see for Bradley's house is something different, something a little less mainstream. And, as I said, something that can really be adapted towards the unique needs of people in the music industry.
I think that's definitely going to be something beneficial to our musical artists, for sure.
Yeah. There's such a need, and I feel the pressure of getting open as soon as we can. We never thought it would take this long. We thought, oh, great, as soon as we start, this will happen quickly. And it just didn't. It didn't work that way. And, life happens. And I've had a lot of stuff with family issues and lost a couple friends, and, just things happen. And not being able to do this full time.
the world shut down for 2 years too.
Yeah, there was that too.
So there's 2 whole years you guys were like not allowed to live life.
Yeah. Well, you know what? In such a beautiful gift from the universe, those 2 years of COVID were some of the best years for us, because our friends at Law Records had reached out to us in 2019 and asked if they could put together a Sublime tribute album to benefit the foundation. And that's where the house that Bradley built came from. That was Law Records, and Paul Milbury, the general manager, approached me after we had met at Cali Roots in 2019. And about 6 months later, he reached out and said, hey, we'd like to do this and donate all the proceeds to the foundation. I was like, wow, that would be incredible if you could make that happen. And he did. He pulled together over 55 artists who all did Sublime covers, donated their performances, and put out the album, and Law Records has raised over $100,000 for us now, which is remarkable. Yeah. So that's been phenomenal, because otherwise, you're right. I mean, we would have been so severely handicapped not being able to do events those couple of years, but it worked out great where we were able to continue to sustain because of that. And then we started the Bradley's House podcast, and we've had a bunch of the artists from the album on there, and just all these different things that we're trying. We did a live stream, just anything that we could think of to get the word out and let people know that we're here, not only to help them, but also that they can be a part of it and be a part of getting Bradley's House open
and raising funds, because that's a never-ending thing for never-ending support. How can people do that? You have merchandise, you have albums. What can people do?
And where can they go?
Thank you. Those are great questions. So our website is a great resource, and that's the NowellFamilyFoundation.org. I'm pretty sure it's the longest URL in history, but anyway, the NowellFamilyFoundation.org. And we have all of our merchandise on there. We've got hoodies and t-shirts, and we just added beanies. We've got coffee from North County Roastery in Oceanside that is to die for. I might single-handedly be supporting our coffee business, but I love
now
it.
We might, because we love coffee.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's whole bean coffee. And Jacob, Brad's son, and I went down and picked out the beans that we wanted and the roast that we wanted, and it was really fun. It was like wine tasting, but with coffee.
We need coffee.
Yeah,
we do that. We love that idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it was super fun.
With coffee.
Super fun. I do recommend that you do it earlier in the day. I had to do it after work on a weeknight, and so I was up all night, but it was totally worth it.
Well, you got a lot of work done that day, didn't you?
That's right. I did. I was on fire. But the coffee is all thanks to Kevin Shin, who owns North County Roastery and the Switchboard Restaurant, and now Canvas Gallery and Bar down in Oceanside. They're all right next door to each other. Great place. He's a phenomenal human being. He's done so much for the foundation. So, already in the last 5 years, we've been so fortunate. We've got great support from Merge 4. They produce a few different types of socks for us. And I don't know, just so many people that I really it's humbling. It's humbling to see that after all this time, this is all because of what Brad did. And it's all because people still are impacted by his music, and their love for him and for the music is why people want to get involved. And it's very humbling, and we feel super honored that people want to be a part of this.
We think it's magical that he was part of what shaped the music that we listen to, and it's beautiful that you guys are coming back around to continue to support people so that music can continue to go on.
Yeah, absolutely. And with it, Sublime was such a big presence in Southern California. Now you guys are in Southern California, right?
Yes. Yeah, we're actually in Orange County right now.
Where are you?
Off from Ware Canyon.
Oh, okay. What a small world.
We're probably really close to you. We probably have got together.
What a small world.
Well, if you ever let us see your face, we can always get together.
So funny. I'm happy to get together. I just don't like being on camera, and people give me shit about it, which is fine. I can handle it. But, I've always been a very private person. And so it was never my plan to be the face of the foundation. That was going to be my dad. And unfortunately, his health has declined a little bit in the past years. And so that's just not something that has worked out. But I am really working hard to push Jacob more to the front.
Yeah.
He's so great. He gives great interviews. He carries himself so well. He's such an incredible young man and so talented. And so I'm hoping that he can be the face of the foundation someday when I can finally retire.
Right. And he also has a background in that too. So it's nice that people will be able to inspired by him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And he's launched his solo career this year, and he's just writing some phenomenal music.
Oh, yes.
He's really come a long way. I got to see him perform at our pre-party before Reggae Rise Up in Vegas last month. And I hadn't seen him perform since June, and I couldn't believe the difference. In like 3.5 months, he has come so far, and just keeps growing as a person and an artist. And
Yeah.
I'm really, really proud of him.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that he can, make his dad proud too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. How did you guys discover Sublime? I always like to hear people's Sublime stories.
Oh, dang. I was in like 7th grade when I started listening to Sublime, though. Like, it was
Nice.
it was just that Sublime was one of the biggest bands that me and my friends ever had. And like, my friend got like one of the tapes, or I think
Uh-huh.
cassette tape, and we were just
Wow.
so stoked. We must have played that thing over and over again to where you had to like reel it in, and like
Yes.
it gets all stuck, and you're all,
Yep.
no, I like that song.
Right,
And then it rips, and you're like, yeah.
You gotta stick the
I've loved
pencil in
Sublime.
there to reel it in. Yeah.
Yeah, Sublime pretty much, like Jessie said earlier, it like paved my music likes for the rest of my life. Like, that's where it all
Wow.
started, like when I was 13. So
That's
I
intense.
love Sublime.
I was
Oh.
the youngest of 4 girls, so
Oh, wow.
I had big sisters, and it was just playing all the time. My
Wow.
sister Lindsay would sing 2 joints, and she would scream, "Bah, bah."
I love
And I
that.
remember that more than anything else from when I was little.
Classic. I love that.
Well, we're running low on time, and I don't want it to cut off without us saying anything. We
Oh,
have about
okay.
a minute left,
Oh,
and
dang.
I know she can't see that.
I can't. I'm all, where is it?
I just wanted to say thank you so much. You've talked to one of my sisters. She's given you guys tips and advice. She's a counselor, a drug and addiction counselor out in Idaho. And it's just really nice to see you guys collecting all the information that you can to make it the most beautiful Bradley's House Foundation that I can.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you having me on the show and helping us get the word out. We really are doing this together, everybody, and we couldn't do it on our own. The support has been amazing, and we're really, really grateful for that. So thank you.
One more thing, tell them again, if they want to make a donation, where can they go?
TheNowellFamilyFoundation.org. We also have a link tree that has links to our PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all that. And it's linktr.ee/Nowell Foundation.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, very crooked. Her. That's how my eyebrows are. Did them all fucking fast, all in the dark.
Exactly how she did for the fucking interview.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, having that conversation with Kellie was super awesome. It was great to get to really hear about what's going on and how they've been working so hard.
It's one of those things where it started as an idea, and then they were like, we're just going to do it. And then they got the support of Law Records, and it just kind of blossomed. And they're not as far as they want to be.
Yeah. They go everywhere, right? They go to festivals.
Yes.
They go...
I mean, I think it's Southern California, Long Beach, Orange County, San Diego, the general area, but you'll find them at festivals. I like how she said, like, their booth, it became a safe space.
Yeah.
For people who want to talk to them or have a story to share or a connection to make, but also people who might have tripped too hard and need somewhere where they know they will be okay.
Yeah. And I like that they're not judgmental to that.
Yes.
So they're open to people coming if they just need to sit there. People go to festivals, they go places, and they take too much of something, and they're just like, oh, shit, and they don't know what to do. I'm glad that they have that.
It's something that's very important to a lot of people that we know. Jennifer Aldrich, I want to give her a shout out. We've had her on our show. Bradley's House is very special to her to help people get off of opioid addictions. They lost family members to that, and that's one of the reasons she started making edibles, was to be able to help people have a safer, better way to work through issues and pain and things like that. There are a lot of other options out there. If anyone is struggling, reach out.
Yeah, that's one big thing right there, is a lot of times people don't know that you're struggling, and open your mind to reaching out to somebody. Having somebody on your side when you're going through something is a lot easier than trying to struggle and do it on your own. So there are places, the Nowell the whole Nowell Foundation, us, all the places that offer the help. If you need it, take it. I don't know how to say it, but you can lose the battle really easily. And
addiction takes over. If you're not careful, if you dive into it, addiction takes over. It can take you out. And it's not just addiction. It can be depression. It can be harmful thoughts. It can be a lot of different things. Intrusive thoughts. If you have any of these things, it's okay to get help. It's okay to admit them. It's okay to reach out. And I think it's a wonderful thing to make sure that you let the people around you know what you're going through. The people who are on your team and there for you, they're going to be there for you. They'll look it up. They'll know how to work through it with you.
Yeah, exactly.
There are places out there, their whole goal is to help people. It's the same with Dirty Sisters. Our goal is to help people. It's Jen. Her goal was to help people. It's a beautiful thing. And one thing that Kellie said was, she already knows that there's a lot of other ones out there, rehabs and, safe homes or safe houses, halfway houses dedicated to music. They want to do one their way, and there's never too many. It's not about competition. It's about helping people.
Right, exactly. And the thing is the more the merrier when it comes to this, because
the more the healthier.
Yeah, the more the healthier, yes.
Yeah.
Every single day somebody is getting caught up in it, and every single day somebody is losing the battle. My inbox is always open, and if anybody ever needs to talk about their struggle with trying to stop and make changes, then I'm the gal.
Melissa went through it. She has a lot of really good advice.
And I've learned a way of life that that I'm able to reconnect with myself in a way that I still enjoy life and I still have fun. And the thing is this, when I first quit and I first stopped partying and doing it that way, because dang, I still party, Partying to me now is, we're partying right now. It's almost 10 o'clock. And so we're out having a good time. I'm getting that same feel. And I forgot what the fuck I was going to say. It's late, see?
So a lot of reaching your goal is having the right support system. And Bradley's house was lucky to have the support of Law Records. We talked about this with Surf Rodeo. He has the support of all of Ventura behind him. Like, that shit is cool. We have Dirty Sisters. We have the whole music community behind us. Like, we're all out here helping each other, and it's really magical. Persistence matters. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals. It matters in sobriety. It matters in careers. It matters in anything you want to do. It matters in music. You have to keep going. You have to practice. You have to work. You got to keep going. It's the same for us. We are still going. It felt nice to talk to her and hear, it takes longer than you expect. We needed that advice. We needed to hear those things as well. We're not creating a rehab, but we have a compassion project. We want to give what we can to everybody that we can. To be able to link up with organizations and foundations like them, it's really special.
Yeah, it is. It was a good ending to the week for me. Because in the beginning of the week, I had these weird realizations. All week long, I was having things happen that gave me gratitude and humbled me. I feel like I gave out good vibes to a lot of people that needed it. And I was able to give that energy to other people because I was able to reconnect with myself.
Yeah.
And so
the happy side.
Yeah. And so I was able to give that joy out, and it was nice. And so it was a good ending to the week, having that, going camping, doing all this stuff. Spontaneous Melissa, who had a good night. It was quick, it was fast, it was
fun.
It was really nice.
I hurt like hell.
I want to do this more often. So
we started by saying it's okay to ask for help. You need to know when to ask for help, whether you're an individual struggling through something, through an addiction, or through a relationship, or just you can't make a
depression,
decision.
anxiety.
Reach out. You need to know when to ask for help. You also need to know to ask for help when you are not physically able to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like change tires.
Yeah.
And I got a flat tire today on the way to the studio. Her boss even came in and was like, I think someone slashed your tire. It's on the wall. It's like,
it's weird.
It looks like someone slashed my tire. I tried my fucking hardest to get the tire off. I was like,
I even tried my hardest too. And then she tried her hardest again.
Yep, and I couldn't get it. Couldn't get the lug nuts off. I kicked it. I stood on it. I did all the shit you guys said.
Jessie, you don't have the spoons for this. Jessie, save the spoons. Save the spoons.
I can do it myself. Fuck.
I'm here. I tried. She tried.
You'll never convince me I need somebody.
I think you're gonna need help. No, I'm not. Tomorrow, you guys, when Jessie's going, I don't know why my whole fucking body and my back, and I can't feel my fucking hands. Oh, wow.
Fucking shit.
I'm all dirty.
I did have to ask for help today. So thank you, Demir, and thank you, Cole, for coming and helping me.
Yeah, my son came and switched out the tire for her, so that was nice. We were able to get Jessie to at least understand that she cannot do that.
I was ready.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
She was.
I can do it. And so I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And that's, I have to admit that, and I have to be willing to say, all right, some things I am not physically able to do, and that was one of them. And I did a little bit hurt myself trying.
Yeah, a little bit. You guys know she's gonna wake up tomorrow, watch the internet.
It already hurt.
I
hurt
tried
this
to, and my body hurts too from like just the pulling of it.
I am broken.
Well, that was her morning on the way here. On my way here, I stopped at the grocery store, and I was standing in line, and I haven't talked to any other people that whole morning. I get to the store, I'm putting my stuff up there, and I can hear the checker and the customer talking, and the customer says, "Oh, happy birthday to you too." And the checker's like, yeah, it's crazy, we're birthday twins. And I'm like eavesdropping, and I'm like, stand up, and I look, and I'm like, seriously, it's both your birthdays? And they both look at me and go, no. And I'm like, what? And so the customer's like, it's my birthday every day. And so I guess every time he comes in, the cashier tells him happy birthday. It's like an inside joke. So like I hopped in on their inside joke. And so the customer, he's like, all right, have a good day. And he looks at me and he goes, happy birthday. And I tell him happy birthday. And he tells the cashier happy birthday. And then I do my transaction, and the cashier tells me, all right, bye, happy birthday. And so happy fucking birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday. And if it's not your birthday, happy birthday.
And if it is your birthday, then we didn't mean to hijack your birthday.
Yeah.
So happy birthday.
Happy extra birthday. Officially. Just the quick DSL updates, Dirty Sisters. We are working to be a nonprofit. We have that already started, and we have some pins in the works. So please watch for a pin drop. That's going to be helping out Florida. Jay Cantor of Street Level Uprising, we had him on our show before, reached out, and we are able to offer whatever help we can.
Yeah.
And that is how we will do that. So for rebuilding efforts and cleanup efforts, keep an eye out. And also keep an eye out for our Dirty Sisters Jam sessions. We are working every single day on that. And that will be donated in Janelle Self's name. So
it will be the self-help project for those of you who are unable to help yourself.
yes, it'll be a helping hand for those who can't help themselves.
Yeah. And because Janelle's self-help, I know she would love it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So yes, visit the website. When you support a business, it's not a set number. Things like Dirty Sisters and Bradley's House and the Knoll Family Foundation, they are forever funded projects. Like, they need the endless support so that goodness can continue to go and people can continue to receive help and support and love.
Yeah.
So if you can, show some love.
Yeah.
Go follow their podcast. They have a podcast. The likes, the subscribes, those help. The shares, those help. They have merch you can buy. Same for Dirty Sisters. We have our website. We have a podcast. You're watching it. We have all of the things that you can do. So show the love.
I am.
Well, we're not.
Kinda. I can see myself.
I've watched it a lot of times. So show the love where you can, and whether it's big support or small support, any support helps. And that support trickles down to help a lot of people, and it's just very, very nice.
Yeah.
And we just want everyone to be nice.
We do, and we are...
Be nice, fuckers.
Yes. Really, Jessie and I are working really hard to do so much good in so many different places that I can't wait. We started this episode telling you guys we have a lot of stuff coming, and we do. And it's going to be amazing. One of the things that we have coming, and I wanted to say this, is Jessie and I are going to have a paint night at our studio in downtown Riverside on December 3rd. So this is going to be for women only.
There's a limited number of spots. We'll be painting butts. And if you want to know what that means, check us out online.
Yeah, it's a total great girls' night. And if you need a ladies' night, you need to get out. You're in the area, downtown Riverside area, in December, you should definitely sign up for this because it is going to be such an amazing night. I don't know. I tell you guys that being with Jessie and I is like a therapeutic experience. So imagine a ladies' night with us.
It's going to be fun.
And we're going to have something for the guys shortly. So this is our first one we're going to throw here. And we've got many more ideas. And actually not ideas, actually projects and plans that are going to be happening very soon.
Yes. No buts about it.
No buts about it.
Except for this one, there's buts. So.
I'm all me. I'm a butt.
No,
I thought you pointed to me.
The plan.
Yes. There are butts involved. So get your asses ready.
Yeah, and I gotta get my ass in gear and get to work. So if anybody needs logos, hit me up because I have to buy new tires. I would like to work for it.
Yeah. So Jessie will work for tires.
Oh, also, Barefoot Radio is ending. The whole radio station has shut down. The whole station is ending. So it was very wonderful, and thank you guys for airing us. Dirty Sisters Hours was the bomb.
It was great to be on there, and if you guys are any listeners from that or watching us from that, thank you for coming back over and hanging out with us here.
Yeah, and sticking around because we appreciate all the love and the listens, and we're here for fun. We know that this episode is a little bit more serious, but it's fun because we want everybody to be able to enjoy the fun. So here were the tips that we had for the fun.
Yeah.
And Barefoot Radio was fun. They had some station issues. If it's ever back up and running, we'll be there.
We'll be there.
And so keep an eye out for all of the wonderful things that we have coming up.
Keep an eye out.
Is with your peepers.
With your peepers.
And with your peepers, watch our music video.
Yeah, did you guys see it? Did you see it? If not, go watch it.
Yes.
Jessie worked so hard on it.
Watch the whole
thing till the end.
It's 3 minutes. Dang, TikTok mine's freaking everybody.
We only have 45 seconds. Okay, switch.
I maxed out at 90.
Switch.
God dang, you guys. Come on.
A whole video.
So, if you made it this far, because this will probably be at the end of this episode, good job. You probably watched the whole music video. And it was a damn good time.
Yeah.
Because life is good sometimes. And we want to help more people have more good times.
So let the good times roll.
Woo. Peace out.
Peace out.
Bunker babes, party queens, cooler than you or me. Good time professionals with no listeners, bad intentioned influencers. For your earhole seductions, here's the Nameless Productions. For your earhole seductions, here's the Nameless Productions. For your earhole seductions, here's the Nameless Productions.